Oh, no, new. Oh, here we are. Here we are. I'm always like in this like middle wall, in the middle of the wall, when it's going about to go live. We're here, and we're live. And welcome.
We are. We're here and we're live. Welcome to What's for Dinner.
Yeah, welcome to What's for Dinner. Sorry. Did you ever watch that movie with Matthew McConaughey? And he was like, was he an astronaut in the wall or something like that? And
Yes, Interstellar, I think is what it's called.
interesting. Yeah, something like
Yeah.
I feel like when I press the live button, I'm like in this in between space in the wall. It's kind of funny. All right. We have been, I'm all amped up, Rachel, because I'm about to head out on a jet plane. I'm leaving on a jet plane.
Where are you headed?
Yeah, I'm headed to Atlanta to see my son and daughter-in-law. I'm so excited about that. And then I'm headed to Philadelphia, outside of Philadelphia, for my 40th college reunion. I know, hard to believe. I've been graduated a whole 40 years. I understand. I can hardly believe it myself.
How exciting.
Very exciting. I'm very excited. So I'm maybe a little distracted, because you're always in the back of your mind. Did I pack this? Did I pack that? Do I have my other thing? And what I recognized, Rachel. Oh, are we here? Are we here? What I'm recognizing is that as I'm getting older, I'm getting just a little bit more, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop myself right now because I was about to use a judgment statement, and we're going to talk about that today, about not judging. So this is a huge mindset shift. And I'm sorry, this is not even what we're talking about, but it's kind of like what we're talking about. But I was about to say, Rachel, that I've become a little high maintenance. But no, I am not going to say that. Instead, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm learning what my needs are when I travel. And I feel that I'm worth it to meet my needs.
I love that. I love that reframe, especially since you started to connect that failure or that
keep talking
onto your age. And for so many of us, when we age, like if we forget our keys, well, suddenly you're old and your brain is failing. When really, young people forget their keys also. They forget their social security number also. But yet when we're doing these things as we get older, we tend to blame it on age or some sort of failing or flaw, when really just a quick reframe of, I know how I like it and I want it the way I like it. And that's not a flaw and it's not a failure. Yeah, no. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, right. And you know what I think it is that I'm just becoming more aware that I have needs and it's okay to meet those needs.
Yeah. And you like things the way
you
you like.
Old me judged that as, oh, Julie, you're just being selfish or, high maintenance, or you can go all day without drinking water. You're fine. You're not bleeding. You're not dead. Different story now. Different story. So, so we've been talking a lot about the reframe when it's coming to exercise, because a lot of us, as we've told ourselves stories about exercise, even that word has just taken on a negative connotation, and it's just filled with failure and self-doubt and heaviness.
And overwhelm, difficulty based on past experiences that feel like they were failures, or especially when someone says to me, I used to exercise all the time. Like, let's say they're in their 20s or 30s and they had a regular exercise routine. Maybe they went to the gym all the time. And they remember back to a time when they were so diligent and so dedicated and it was a habit, and they failed because they quit at some point. And I'm thinking, okay, so what you're telling me is you exercise regularly for 5 or 8 years, and then because something changed, that was a failure? No, something changed. And you probably don't recognize what it was, but something in your life shifted and it no longer made that habit work. And so the habit fell off, but that wasn't an exercise failure, right? But now suddenly it's like, oh, I'll never be able to figure it out because it didn't work before. Well, yeah, it did. How many years did you exercise regularly? It worked.
Yeah.
It did work. And
Yeah.
then at some point, it no longer fell within your needs, or it no longer worked within the paradigm of your day. And that needed to be readjusted. The schedule was the flaw, not you.
Right. The schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so key. That is so key to take it away from, this internalization of not doing it to, the objective, like, oh, look at my day. Oh, it is kind of packed out. What else? How could I rearrange it so I could schedule in some exercise, even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's 15 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes 3 times in my day.
And checking the schedule and giving yourself time to build a habit. So, there's all this idea around that, like, oh, a habit takes 28 days to build. A habit takes 60 days to build. The truth is, a habit takes as long as it takes.
Yeah, right.
A habit takes as long as it takes to figure it out.
Say that one more time, because that is so important. That's crucial.
A habit takes as long as it takes. If you're trying to build a habit and it hasn't become a habit yet, that's how long it's taking.
Right.
And and this is not a failure or a flaw or a character issue. There are ways to make habit building quicker and easier. There are ways to understand it better, and certainly working with your providers and a coach can help dial that in really quick.
Sure. We like people like BJ Fogg and Atomic Habits guy. Yeah. And they have very practical, very helpful, actionable tips to building habits, but it still takes time. It takes effort, and it probably is never as fast as you are the story you're telling yourself in your mind, and we come by that honestly, because, social media is full of, these change, before, after, before, after.
Yeah.
And
it looks like it happened like that.
Yeah, right. I didn't.
Yeah. So I think the building of the habit, there's lots of ways to understand the way your brain works, gain some skills around habit forming. But at the end of the day, it is work. And I think probably the number one speed bump, or the number one roadblock, or thing that happens to people as I'm working through building habits and goals, that is just an oversight. We just don't think about it. Is that somebody they'll look at a week and they'll say, okay, let's say they do a great job of building a habit, and they know what it's going to be, and it's very specific. It's a SMART goal. And let's say they're looking at their week that week, and they've really shifted things around and found the time for it. And they've talked to their family members about, okay, this is what I'm doing, and this is when I'm doing it. And they made a commitment for work. I'm leaving at 5. I'm not staying longer because I've got to get to the gym. And, let's say they've done all of the things, right? And they set themselves up for success. And let's say the week goes pretty well. Maybe not 100%. They learn some things about what didn't work and why that didn't work, but they forget to replan the following week. Because what happens each week goals aren't necessarily doable in the exact same way week after week. Things come up and we forget to go back to our schedule and look, does it still work like that this week? Do I need to make any adjustments? And what will it look like to recommit this week? Right? We got to keep it, because until it's a habit, we have to kind of keep recommitting.
Yes. Until it becomes second nature, we're recommitting every time. Recommitting every time. Yeah.
And how do you know it's second nature? How do you know it's a habit? Like, what would you say, Dr. Gilbert, that you know something's a habit and you don't have to commit to it or think about it as much?
Well, I think one thing is that for the most part, I might look forward to it. Oops, sorry. For the most part, I might, have a positive feeling, or I might look forward to it, or at least it's not a negative feeling, or I can work through that. Yeah, it's not drudgery. Always. It's not. Most of the time, it's not a chore. So maybe that's one, my mindset about it. And the next thing is that it's become like automatic. Like I'm not thinking. Like this morning at 6:09, I'm like, oh yeah, shoes on, out the door. And it was just shoes on, out the door. It wasn't. I didn't have to talk myself into it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Something about your routine and the prompts and the cues you set up in your environment, your brain went, oh, hey, time to go. Like your brain reminded you, your whatever skills or resources you set up to kind of be strategic.
Right.
You didn't have to look at a sticky note and go, oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to go out and walk right now. You didn't have to do that. Whoops.
Right.
So good job.
Yeah.
So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's how we know it's a habit. And until that happens, we're still committing and having to put the brain power into it. Sticky notes, reminders, alarms, mindfulness, like that.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that as far as when is it a habit? When do you know that you've, well, this is so funny too, because, and this is kind of a reverse thing about breaking habits that aren't serving us. But I thought I broke my dog of a, I'm going to call it a bad habit. I have 2 dogs, and one dog, she thinks that she can eat out of the other dog's bowl, even though she's got food in her bowl. So I have broken her of that habit. It took a lot of training, blah, blah, blah. And she hadn't done that for over a year. All of a sudden, there was a little kerfuffle on the patio yesterday morning. And I look out there, and there she is in her sister's bowl. Right. Maisie's going, what's going on? So it is so interesting how even though we have these new habits and they're going great, every once in a while, old habits just pop in. They pop in.
They do.
And that's normal. So I think another thing that we think, we have this magical thinking sometimes that once I got a habit going, I'm exercising, that I'm never going to have to work hard at it again, or I'm never going to have the bad habit of XYZ. Yeah. And one of my favorite ways to look at that, stay objective about it, is to kind of do the half laugh. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there that is again.
Oh yeah. Right. Like an acceptance, like a half smile, like, okay. I get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Rather
perfect.
And doesn't that take, it's like the pressure and the cruelty away? And instead it adds a little zest, a little humor, like, oh, turns out I'm human. Ha ha ha. And then back to it, turns out. And I love what you were talking about with what breaks a habit or what throws us off, because any habit you build, even the most concrete habit, can be broken or can be disrupted in the right circumstances. So frequently we see things like stress. If something comes up that's stressful, or whether it's a big, high traumatic stress or just something that kind of shifts, that can, it can disrupt your habit, because the brain depends on predictability throughout the day. She does this and then she does that, and then this and then that, and then that, and then, but if something kind of sends you sideways, I mean, how many times have I gone to bed without brushing my teeth? And I wake up going, oh my gosh, how'd that happen? Well, because my evening routine got mixed up, right? And I didn't do my normal ready for bed, then this, then that, then, And it can happen so easily. You can get distracted by something.
Right.
So, and I'm wondering with your dogs, like, did some sort of stressor, some sort of
right.
thing in their daily routine happen to where all of a sudden the old habit, which was default for a long time and felt good, right? The other dog got a benefit from it in some way. It was meeting a need for her. She went back to that old thing. And it happens to all of us.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. It happens. That's right. It happens. So, yeah. So, I think that's one really important thing to keep in mind that what is it that Winston Churchill said? Success is never final, or something like that. And failure is not, maybe failure is not final. Success is. Oh, it's so good. I have to look it up.
Here, you talk, I'll look it up.
Yeah. Okay. Success is, it's Winston Churchill, and failure is not fatal. So success is not final. Failure is not fatal. The courage to continue is what matters. Yeah. Success is not final. So I never want to get so hoity-toity, or I can feel good. I can feel proud. I can feel better in my body. I can do all of that, but I never want to feel like I've arrived. Right. Yeah. Because then all of a sudden, if I'm high on my horse and looking down on people and I got this, why can't you do it? I'm doing it. Why can't you do it? I'm going to fall flat on my face. Yeah.
And I think, the one of the ways that we encourage, your patients and my clients to not prevent habits from falling off, but how to get back on the horse as quickly as possible, because it's all about consistency, is really journaling or having some sort of a notebook or a binder or a blueprint, right? Like, this is my blueprint for health. So that when you feel suddenly out of whack, off track, what happened, it's sometimes we forget what it was. So in that example, in the very beginning of our conversation, I would ask that person to go back to what their 20s or 30s, when they were exercising regularly, and remember what tell me all about it. What were you doing? How were you doing it? When were you doing it? Were you doing it with someone? What did you do to make it a habit? And most people go, oh, that's right. And some big aha moment comes up of how they made that habit possible. Now they're like, oh, I know how to do this. I can go back to that. So if we keep some sort of a health journal of all the different types of healthy habits, like our protocols that we're doing that keep us well, now we can quickly go back and go, okay, what was it that was working, and pivot very quickly. The goal is to pivot and adjust and move on quickly.
Yeah, that's so important. And journaling is a great way to do that. Writing it down, reminding yourself, because we forget. We forget.
We do.
Yeah. So, very good. All right, Rachel. Well, I am off on a jet plane. So
yes, what's for dinner for you?
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I've got a little nervous stomach. Maybe I won't. It's going to be very light, whatever it is. We do have leftovers. I have to finish out my salad stuff from. We had people over on Tuesday, and Kenny made this beautiful spaghetti, so many vegetables, and a little grass-fed beef. And then I made a beautiful salad. So might have just a little bit of that. Don't want to go heavy on the plane, right? I am taking a red eye. Now, Rachel, speaking about forgetting, I do remember the last time I took a red eye, I said, I will never do that again.
Uh-oh.
Guess what I'm doing?
Uh-oh. So what's going to be the habit, or the what are you going to do to remind yourself next time?
I'm just going
to how this goes.
Yeah, I'm thinking positive. I'm thinking I'm going to sleep on that plane. I'm sleeping on that plane. I'm sleeping. Yeah. I'm sleeping. Let's see. But anyway, YOLO.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, well, for you, what's for dinner for you?
Yeah, we've got our small group tonight. And well, here's the truth of the matter. It's tricky. The very thing that I try to help my clients work through really is snaggling my husband and I up to today. And that is, when you're going to someone else's house and you're eating based on someone else's meal, or you're going to potluck or something, and we all bring food together to share, and we always have a theme. And the theme this week is Kentucky Fried Chicken popcorn chicken bowls. Crickets. Yeah, me too. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what that is. I don't know.
Hey, can I offer a suggestion to you? May I?
Yes.
Your nooch, when you cube up your tofu and nooch it. Yeah,
yes.
I think that's
my popcorn chicken.
Corn. Yes, that's your popcorn.
There we go. Mm-hmm. I'll either air fry or roast cubed tofu bites with that awesome nutritional yeast and spices and a little olive oil, and makes it kind of it's kind of like a breading. It feels a little like it's or it's crusted, so to speak.
Crusted, yes. Yeah, that's going to be your popcorn.
There we go.
In your bowl.
In my bowl. That might be the only thing in my bowl, and that's going to
What else they put in those? I mean, are they talking about like mashed potatoes and coleslaw?
Yes, it's mashed potatoes, coleslaw, cheese, gravy, corn. So I think someone's bringing some corn. Someone's bringing some mashed potatoes. We'll see what's in them. But this is a challenge, right? We all experience this where and most of the time the themes we have are abundant, and there's a lot of great things. And I shouldn't be so judgmental, because usually everybody brings really quality
it doesn't
food.
feel judgmental. I'm not taking it as judgment. You know what else? I'm going to throw it out there. Get some cauliflower, chunk it up, and do the same thing. Chunk up some cauliflower too, and do the same thing. Yeah,
that's a great idea. That I forgot about how yummy that can be. Yes. Okay. There. That feels a little bit more abundant and a little bit more, and then we'll be good. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe to be continued. Maybe if you remember to ask me at some future episode, I'll tell you how that went. But listeners, you're not alone when you experience what the heck. But the key here is, we're not going to just show up and then just eat whatever and see what's there. We're bringing things we know we can eat and want to eat, so that we stay on our track, because we have a certain way we like to eat. It makes us feel good. We've dialed it in, right? I know what I don't like to eat, and I know what I like to eat, and this is how we do it. You got to bring your own food. BYOF.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as I recall, Bryn Mawr, Rachel, I gained the freshman 15 at Bryn Mawr. They had pretty good food, but and I had are we out of time? I had my freshman year roommate. I hope she's there. Man, she was tall and very lanky. She was like a marathon runner, and she did not gain the fair. She would just pile her plate with vegetables. I mean, it was just all vegetable. I was always sat there and like, oh my God, how does she eat so many vegetables? But and in the meantime, I was eating all the other stuff. And so it was funny. It was funny. Lots of memories. And there's definitely a place of disordered eating for me, but that was part of my journey, and here, I've lived to tell about it. So
that's right. That's right. Yeah. It's a success story.
I am not ashamed. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you enjoy your community group.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Yes, I will. Yes. Well, it's going to be
so
great.
Are we back next week, or are you away next week?
No, I'm here. I'm here next week.
All right. We'll see you next week, everybody.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.